Hey guys, welcome to another video. We're going to be connecting all the water lines, all the plumbing together here in this shower house build. There's 3 shower stalls, so there will be a total of 3 showers, 3 toilets, and 3 little vanities, nice little floating modern little vanities. So we're going to be hooking all those water lines up today, so let's get to it. All right, it is about time that I show you guys a nice little tour of this shower house and do a little bit of explanation of why I was building it in the first place. So my wife and I, we bought this piece of property and it was a duplex. Let's actually show what that building looks like. Here's the house. It's a nice little duplex. We're still finishing it in the sense that I'm a full-time contractor, and so whenever I have spare time, I do some honey-do lists and knock things out, but it's still kind of a work in progress. But we bought this place and we renovated it. We lived in the downstairs after we renovated the downstairs, and we were living in that as we were renovating the upstairs. That's when we had our first kid, and it's been a really great place to live in. We're ready to have a lot more space because we now have 2 kids. And so we need extra room to build a house. And so up here we have got this shower house project, so you can see here, and then there's a little cabin up there, and up there is where our house, our future house we want to build. It's right up there. But my original plan when we first bought this property was to put a bunch of these little cabins, we call them dry cabins up here in Alaska because there's no plumbing in there. There's like a little kitchenette with a drain but no actual running water. A bunch of these little cabins up here, and we wanted to add nice big retaining walls and boardwalks and walkways and stuff to create kind of a glamping community. But the second kid came along and now we have no room in our 1-bedroom apartment, so we need a bigger house. So we're scrapping the whole glamping, you know, rental community like we wanted to do to build a house. But with that being said, we have a cabin right there and a shower house kind of right in the middle of our future project that we want to build. And so I need to finish these up. I need to get them to where they are done and usable, and then I think I've got a buyer so that, you know, we can move these off the property. Then we have a blank canvas to do whatever we want on this property. So that's kind of the story. Hopefully I explained it well. Maybe I'll have to do a couple voiceovers, but we'll take a little tour. I've been walking in and out here. This is the little laundry utility room. It is an absolute mess. I'll have to clean it up eventually, but this is the laundry utility room. Nice wall here to put stuff, and then this wall that doesn't have sheetrock yet, that'll all be sheetrocked, but we'll have a washer and dryer box right there. So this will be a nice little washer and dryer room, laundry room slash utility room. So this is the one, and then this right here, these are the stalls. So like I said, we have 3 stalls. That one is the finished stall, and it's been in use for our renter that's been up there. But these are the 3 stalls, so we'll have, each one will have a shower. There's a toilet flange there and the necessary plumbing to run all those fixtures. And this is kind of what it looks like. Nice little shower there. Got a toilet and a vanity. Yeah, it definitely needs cleaning, but kind of the whole idea there is a little shower house for a camping community. There's just a couple more things that we need to do to get it ready for drywall and tile, and that is run the rest of the water lines, do the manifold system for the water lines. We need to hook up the venting for the bathroom fan so that we can pump all the hot air, hot steam out of there, so don't get anything molding. And then we have to run a couple electrical lines, put in an outlet, put in a switch, and then the lights. And then once we do that, we are ready for drywall and tile. That's when everything starts coming together and it's looking nice and fancy. And so, oh, and insulate. There's a couple cavities here that still need insulation. So that is also something we need to do and check off our list. So, but probably actually the very, very first thing is cleaning up this absolute mess of a job site. So let's do that first. Everybody likes a little bit of a clean lapse, so here you go. Once the mess was all cleaned up and a little bit more manageable, it was time to go and get a couple fittings. Gotta get all the materials. I just had to run down to my local Ace Hardware and grab a couple things. I'm making sure I pick out the plastic fittings rather than the brass fittings because they are a little bit more inexpensive, but they hold up just as well. Shout out to Ace. Our local Ace is super helpful. All right, now that we have all of our fittings that we've gotten from the store, now it is time to install some of the PEX lines. The type of PEX pipe we are using is called PEX B. There are actually two different types. It's called either PEX A or PEX B. PEX A pipe is a little bit more flexible and uses expansion-based fittings and rings, but we are using PEX B, which uses crimp-style fittings and rings. Right here you can see that I am installing a 90-degree plastic elbow with the crimp rings. You got to make sure when you're installing these rings that you hold them off the edge of the PEX pipe a little bit to get a good seal. And here I'm using a special crimping tool. It's a one-way crimp. What that means is as you're crimping it down, it will not allow you to open them up until they are fully tightened. So it's a pretty good foolproof way to make sure that your crimp rings are securely fastened and tightened down onto your fittings. The only downside with those are in a tight area, it's kind of hard to get a good angle and a good enough leverage to crimp them all the way down, but you'll be able to find it. You just got to get a little creative with the types of angles and how you get your leverage to squeeze them, but it's a pretty foolproof way to install water lines in any project, pretty DIY friendly. So if you're looking to do a project of your own, I highly recommend using a PEX B pipe. It's really inexpensive to get started and super easy to figure out. Here I am just tightening down some fittings so I can install this shower valve. This is not really a super special fitting, but it's one that you definitely need. It's a threaded to a PEX fitting, so that you can connect the PEX fittings to those threads that are on a traditional shower valve. Now I'm drilling a hole for the water to go up to the shower spout. The shower valve is a mixer / valve so that you can shut water on and off and also control the temperature to your liking. Pardon my French. Didn't realize the cold water was directly underneath it. I was drilling a hole for my hot water line to go through. Didn't realize my blue pressurized pipe was right underneath it. And started getting sprayed everywhere. That's all right. We'll just add a coupler right there. It won't be the end of the world. Let's finish drilling that hole though. Now that the water's off. Luckily, I got a whole bunch of extras. These split fix. There we go. Gonna crimp it. Crimp it. There we go. Pipe in. Now I am starting to install that manifold system that I was talking about. It's basically just a big control board for all the water lines. I can turn off one shower unit independently from the other ones. So it's a pretty good system if you need to do regular maintenance or you have a leak. Some idiot maybe drills through one of your pressurized pipes and you gotta shut off that one thing. It could happen to anybody. So it's individual water valves for each stall on the hot and cold side. So if you just need to work on the hot water lines, you can turn one of those off. So yeah, I highly recommend it if you're going to be doing your own build or a DIY upgrade or something. A manifold style plumbing system is the way to go. So I made a mistake. This washing machine drain line is not in the center of the wall, as you can see here. Yeah, that little guy should be right in there. But luckily, if you look down in here, not sure if you can see it, it swoops that way. Whoop. It goes that way. So I'm going to cut this out right here and hopefully get in there, maybe cut the pipe back a little bit and shift this down so that it is actually in the wall. So this is the old fitting right here, and this is the old piece of pipe that is stuck inside the fitting. You got all that glue that's right there, and it's stuck in there, but I want to reuse this fitting. If I switched it on this side, I would still have that that gunk in here. So this is a really cool tool to remove that. It's called a socket saver. It attaches to the end of your drill. You just take it and stick it right in there, and you start spinning it. Gotta get a really good grip on it. Hopefully I can do this on camera. And you just kind of eat it out. And it just slowly eats out the old pipe. Alright, that's about as cleaned up as she's gonna get. But it should be able to stick on to the end of this pipe really nice. Yeah, I don't think that this glue is supposed to be this setup. Yeah, time to go get some more glue. Another important thing to install during the rough-in plumbing stage, which is the stage that we're in, is a washer outlet box. It's where your washing machine will hook into the water and hook into a drain. And so this is a washing machine outlet box. They come in kits. This is the Odie brand. It's one of my favorite brands, but any brand will work really. It's just a washer outlet box kit. And so you snap in those little tabs right there. I had to beat mine in. They were a little tough, but you should be able to just snap those tabs in, and then you just screw it directly in the middle of a stud bay. You screw it down as many screws as you can because it's a little floppy at first, but once you get it all screwed in, then you just start hooking up the water valves. And you tap into existing water lines, or if you've got a really big manifold system, you can run their own dedicated water line or water supplies. But just make sure that when you are installing those water valves for your washer box, you use some thread sealant tape to prevent any leaks. That's a crucial detail that you don't want to miss, or else you'll have water spraying in the walls like I had water spraying in the walls earlier. But once again, just using the PEX-B fittings, it's super easy to pull water off of these existing water lines. And then once again, I also had a thread to PEX fitting to hook up to those water valves. All right, guys, just a warning. If you buy brand new pipe cutters, just make sure you don't touch your thumb to it. I'm talking, I barely touched that blade. Like my thumb, I didn't even feel my thumb touch it, and then all of a sudden I felt blood rushing out of my thumb. So, just warning. Whenever you are installing a washer outlet box, from the drain port down to the P-trap, code requires 18 inches minimum. So make sure you cut it at 18 inches, and then you can install it right up in there. I didn't screw myself over with that. Oh, I totally screwed. I'm actually gonna put this water pipe in this port. Now that I've gotten the main part of this drain plumbed in, it's time to drill a hole through the roof to install the vent. That's where that little piece is gonna go. It's gonna go all the way up through the ceiling here, and then I'm gonna put a little waterproof boot on it. So and with that, the washer outlet box is all finished. And here is just one more sewer vent that I have to add because there's so many fixtures in this building. It definitely needed an extra vent. Please excuse the mess. If you'd like to see me organize this nasty mess of a tool tent, let me know in the comments. And while you're down there, hit the like and subscribe button.